And we are back again, folks. Aye. A wee bit of light on the circulation fees there. Not better. Not better. There we go. That was a wee blast of how my wee videos were before, I suppose. In the darkness, as the bold sergeant would say. That's a cheeky rat bag at you. Right. Decided to might as well do a pizza since I've got the base there ready. The other dough balls are in the freezer. Hope you've all made this pizza dough by now. So I thought, I've got a jar of pesto in the cupboard. I've got a wee bit of tomato sauce that I've made up for last week for the flatbreads that I had. See, the flatbreads I had also made kind of wee pizza things with them. In fact, they were more like quesadillas. I just filled them and then quartered them and turned them around, got them nice and crispy, melty cheesy in the middle. I can't remember what I had. I think I had chicken in them, mozzarella cheese and whatever. So I've got a stack of mozzarella cheese, a wee swatch. We've got a bit of pecorino there. We've got that wee bit of sauce, tomato sauce. We've got, don't know if you can see that, we've got Italian herbs in there somewhere. A bit of pajama cheese, bit of the old pepperoni, mozzarella, and as I said, we're pesto that I've been getting tore into, so I might as well use some for an actual dish instead of just eating it with a spoon out the jar. Right, so what we're going to do first, I'm going to do this in the old halogen, by the way, situated there. Aye. And mainly because I think that halogen gets hotter than my actual oven, but I'm not actually 100% sure about that, but this is what we're doing anyway. Right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wash that teaspoon. So I hope you have all watched my pizza dough recipe and preparation. It's pretty good. Right, I'm going to go with what I reckon 2 teaspoons. Maybe need a wee bit more. So that's about 2.5 teaspoons, that's plenty. So obviously you can dive out to the shop and get all the ingredients for pesto if you fancy it. I'm sure a certain person's probably already just added that to his list after seeing this. He'll be heading down there getting all these pesto ingredients. It's actually quite easy to make. It's just getting all the ingredients and being bothered, isn't it, really? That's what it is. Right, so there you go, we've got some pesto on there. We like a spoon. Next, we're going to go with our pecorino. I grated this up on the old grater a minute ago. I love the smell of pecorino and all that crazy cheese. And yeah, that's for a wee bit of pecorino, but I forgot to grate a bit of the bloody pajama. So we'll do that now, right? Doing something today. I've usually got all my stuff prepared. Usually when we're on the Henry Westons tonight. That's my last bottle. Lovely stuff. Absolutely dynamite stuff, to be honest, and I've got actually Tracy to thank for that. She introduced me to the old Henry Westons and it was down an absolute treat. Right, a wee grate of the old pajama cheese. Not too much, just a wee bit. That'll do it, just a wee bit. Back in the old bag. Right. So we've got our pesto in there. We've obviously got an absolutely beautiful base to start with, which is quite important. It's quite important. Right, just get my these wee bits of cheese that I've bounced off. Right, so I've got my, you can bloody see what I'm doing. Point if you can't see. Sarge will be saying, you're zoomed in too much. You're zoomed in too much. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Right, that'll do these. So next, we're going to go with our mozzarella. I'm a cheese first guy. I know it's quite a controversial thing. I'm cheese first. Always. So this is probably too much. When you actually make a good, authentic Neapolitan pizza, you literally want no cheese on it. You literally want a couple of wee blobs of cheese, to be honest. But who wants that? Nobody. Nobody wants that. Oh, so aye, Mrs. Tracy, episode 7 of the Murdoch series. I've not watched it yet. I'll watch it shortly. I shall watch it straight after making this, in fact. Right, what to do now? I'm going to go on with some just wee kind of dollops of this tomato sauce. When I say tomato sauce, I'm not talking tomato ketchup. I'm talking actual pizza sauce, my pizza sauce, which is on my previous pizza videos. I urge you to go and check them out immediately. Otherwise you're just a total loser. Loser. Right, so that gets rid of that. It's always nice just to bloody get rid of this stuff. You know what I mean? See they wasting it. Just use it. Just use it, man. No. Just use it in that. Big man said pure use it. Right. Next. In fact, no, what am I doing? That's a crazy idea. Next. Not that crazy. A wee bit crazy. I'm going to get in with some Italian seasoning. Now this stuff, some of this stuff's already in that sauce, but just a wee sprinkling doesn't hurt. It does not hurt one jot. Right, that's plenty. So next we can go on with the old pepperoni. And you can put any filling you want on your pizzas, by the way. Any fillings you want, but obviously with that comes a huge caveat. Don't be filling it with all sorts of wet ingredients like some folk do. 2 tier toes. And then end up making basically one of the worst pizzas you've ever seen in your entire life. Don't do that. Try and use dry ingredients and try and use cooked ingredients as well. So if you're putting mushrooms on it, I would fry them up in a frying pan, even a dry frying pan with no oil or nothing. Maybe a bit of salt, a bit of pepper if you're desperate. Yeah, some folk are just desperate to add ingredients. I don't know if you have noticed that. They're just desperate to try and, well, I can kind of do better than that. I can add this and butter in some lentils and before you know it, you've just got a mess on your hands. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. You've just got to let them get on with it and enjoy their lives. Never their time. Right, so that's us. Got our pepperoni on there. There's my potatoes. Another wee bit for Mrs. Tracy there. Manhattan. I've just peeled them. Manhattan. So, I'm not going to lie. They're not quite as good as any of the others, like Saxon, Tyson, Osprey, to mention but 2 or 3. But they are quite good. And you'll see the chips they make shortly. You'll see the chips they make shortly, alright folks? Aye. Right, so as I say, that's our pizza pretty much sorted. We've got our pesto on the bottom, bit of pecorino, bit of grana pajama cheese, then with mozzarella, a wee sprinkling of Italian herbs, and then finally with pepperoni. Nothing spectacular, but as I was saying, don't put wet ingredients on. Try and this really only, well, I would still say the same if you've got an actual pizza oven outside or whatever. I would say still make sure you're trying to use nice dry ingredients instead of all sorts of wet stuff. But look, it's your pizza, you do what you want. This is what I do. This is how I'm doing it. I was going to say something else there, but it's right out of my head. I hate when that happens. I guess that happens to some of you out there when it just gets right out your head, man. And you're like, what was I actually going to say there? I've got a clue. Right, got to move this out the road a wee minute. I can use the rest there. We'll get these potatoes chopped up, right? Into our chips. So I don't know what size that. Oh, there we go, you're having these situations and moments there. Right, there we go, we've got the wee blob there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. If you can't, I don't know what I'm going to do. Right, so I always like to chop that wee bit off first, because you always get that in a bag of chips, that wee bit, and sometimes it's the best wee bit. So we're going to make these no too thick, but no too thin either. We're going about that thickness. I don't know what thickness you would call that. Is that about an inch? I think that's about an inch, about an inch thick-ish, give or take. And we're going to go for reasonably sized chip size. I like to chop this wee bit off. These wee bits are always nice. Everybody knows that. You always get the wee crispy bits in a bag of chips. Right. Can't remember what to say. I've totally lost my track of thought. I hate when that happens. But we'll get these sliced up. And usually, what I would do with chips once I've sliced them up is, which most folk I think do as well, but I do a wee thing different that maybe folk don't do. Once your chips are all sliced up, get them into a bowl of cold water, give them a good few rinses, then get them into a bowl, cold water, but add a teaspoon of baking soda. Just do it, don't ask me why, just do it, trust me. But I can't be bothered doing that tonight, it's late, it's getting late. So we're just going to chop them up and get them in the fryer. And I think I'm going to do I think I'll give the chips a wee, maybe 5 minutes heat start, and then bung the pizza in. See, for that one I would probably just half that. Alright, just half that. So I hope everybody had an absolutely mind-blowing Thursday. But Thursday's usually actually one of the best days of the week, because you know the next day is Friday. I cannot believe how quick the bloody weekends are flying in. I cannot bloody believe it. I've actually obviously used all the wee totties first, just to get them out of the bag. That's what I was saying, aye. So these are Manhattan. So I've been trying a few varieties, and I'll say one thing, I'm not be buying Maris Pipers ever again, I don't think. Unless that's all I've got, which could happen under this Labour government. That could actually happen if we've not actually got any potatoes at all. I'm not even joking. So aye, these are Manhattan, and as I say, they're decent, but, and be prepared for this trace. Putting them all, and Sarge, I know you're heavily interested. You're thinking about all sorts of ways of different varieties of potato glue you could make with all these potatoes. So, aye. So, oh, I've lost it again. It's went away again. So aye, Manhattan. These are Manhattan, but I think my favourite potatoes out of them all, between Osprey, Tyson, Saxon, you name it, there was even more. Was that one you were mentioning, Ouija or whatever? I think I've had that as well. I'm sure I've had that as well. And what was the other one? What, Boston? I'm sure there was one called Boston. Could be wrong. But out of them all, my favourite potato so far, 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Saxon, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. 4 chips, 4 Osprey, 4 Tyson, 4 Ouija, 4 Boston. I didn't actually get round to making mash or anything like that with them. But for chips is Panther variety, absolutely banging. I've got a feeling it's maybe our variety, our kind of version of Yukon Gold. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a mad potato expert, but that would be my go-to potato, to be honest, for anything. In fact, I made roasties with it. I made really nice roasties. What am I talking about? I made roasties. I had a lovely dinner. I'm not even going to tell you what it was because I'm probably going to make it soon. It was absolutely banging, man. Just a really hearty, typical Scottish kind of dish. I think probably English as well, and probably Durham, wherever. I think it's Durham, Mrs. Tracy's way. I'm sure it's your kind of thing as well. I'm sure they have it down your neck of the woods. But aye, so we're getting our chips cut. I don't take ages and gibbering away like a maniac. We've got one to go, and then we're just going right into the fryer. I'm not doing any of this what I just talked about, salting them or anything like that. And then you've got to obviously dry them, pat them bone dry with a towel. If you do all the steeping them in cold water, palaver, and baking soda. Do the baking soda thing, believe me, especially if you're trying to get that kind of chip thing going on. Always do a few that are a wee bit weird, because as I say, you always get the chips in a bag of chips even for the chip shop. That I've just, pardon me, that I've just been done that wee bit extra. Right, so we're like in the fryer now. I don't know if he's all see. Will you see? Nah, this can't see. Of course he's canny. Obviously this can't see. Right. Hope that's better. I've got these on a situated on a pot, gingerly. I've used that word twice there. I'm trying to use gingerly quite a lot. So I've got these gingerly and precariously balanced on a pot. Serious bit of vocabulary, man. Serious stuff, man. Right, so the old fryer's heat up. So we might as well get the old chopped up tatties. This is another thing about Mr. Red, man. He's got every gadget known to man, but he's got a daft bloody chip basket thing. Mr. Red, get yourself a bloody cracking fryer. Get yourself one of the double, you've probably seen them, the double sized ones. I might actually be tempted to splash it on a new fryer. This is ancient, this thing. It does the job. I'm one of the dudes that seriously believes in the old, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. So I'll use that probably until it bloody drops down. You know what I mean? Until it blows up, catches fire and burns the house down with me in it. Right, there we go, we're getting there. This is the longest bit of a bloody meal, getting the chips off the chopping board. Jesus Christ. Right, there we go. So the pizza's prepped, obviously, because I've showed you, I'll show you again. Here's our pizza's prepped, right? Looking absolutely bloody gorgeous. In fact, I know what I forgot to do. What we'll do is, we've got this bit of olive oil left in this wee shot glass, so why not get some of your olive oil on the crust. That's what we're meant to do. Always forgetting something. Just get some of that on there, all the way round, even just dab it on. Doesn't matter if you're spreading it on, get it round down the sides. It'll find its way. Not there, sorry, I think I nudged you there. I hope you can still see. And with a wee bit of olive oil left, we'll just... Well, it's needed. I wouldn't say you need to do this, but I'm just getting rid of this wee bit of oil in this shot glass basically. Right, that's us. That's us, troops. So what we're going to do now is get you back where these were situated. Right there. So as I say, these are Panther, no Panther. Panther are my new favourite, basically, as I was saying. These are Manhattan. So in we go. And I've actually got this turned down to its lowest setting, because I've been experimenting making my chips as well. And I'll tell you something else about the Panthers. They're the most dry potatoes I've ever seen, ever. So that's probably why they're really, really good. They're really, really dry. When you slice them, there's hardly any, when you slice a potato you get moisture coming out. Hardly any moisture. So, Panther's the way to go, folks. If you're chip people, roasty people, I've got a feeling they're good, probably good all-rounders. Right, anyway, I'm babbling on a lot of nonsense here. I'm going to get this cider open, and I'll get back to you when the pizza's out of the oven. It's going in about, I'll give these maybe 5 minutes, get yourself a wee swatch it then. So as I say, it's topped down to its lowest setting, this. Because I'm experimenting with, I'm learning how, as I say, I never actually knew there was so many bloody potato varieties. But aye, that's what I was saying. I haven't had for ages. I was talking to Trace, I think it was last week, a couple of weeks ago, about obviously tatty varieties, that's what you talk about. It was Cyprus, so I had a Cyprus potato all night, and I hadn't had a Cyprus potato for years, and I remember telling Tracy about them. I had maybe no years, but for ages, and I'm not going to lie, if you can get your hands on some Cyprus potatoes, go for it, because they might even be life changing for you. But I think I still actually prefer the Panther. Right, anyway, I'm talking a lot of nonsense about tatties here. I'm going to get back to these when the old pizza's ready. Aye. Right folks, the chips have been in for about 5 minutes. I'm going to have to serve it oil, see the odd wee black bit in there, wee burnt bit. But that soon comes off, usually when you give them a wee shake. So, these are nearly ready. Nearly ready. The pizza's probably ready, if I'm honest. So I don't know if you can see in there. So what I did a wee minute ago was took the lid off and I brushed, see all the pepperoni oil. I brushed that around the crust. Really nice. So chips are looking good, pizza's looking good. What's going to happen with these is a bit of salt. That will do lovely. I was going to put a wee bit of chicken seasoning. Chicken seasoning is nice on chips as well. But I think I'm just going to go salt and maybe a bit of burger sauce to dip it in, or maybe even a bit of sweet chilli, who knows, it might go mental. So we'll get back to these. Right folks, we're back. I've just took the pizza out of the oven, and there's our pepperoni pizza. So you can see the lovely colour, brushing with the olive oil and brushing with some of the juice that comes out of the pepperoni. So I gave it a brush with that about halfway through cooking, which isn't long. It's not a long cooking time for these pizzas. So here's our chips. I'm going to call maybe time on the chips, because usually when you get floatage and fizzy bubblage, they're talking good. So I hope you agree that this looks pretty damn good. So what we'll do is we'll get it sliced up. In fact, why not we'll get a wee bit of sprinkling. We'll get another wee bit of sprinkling of pecorino just to finish it. Right. Get some on the crust as well. Just taking a finish it off, and we'll also give it just another tiny wee sprinkling of Italian herbs, Italian mixed herbs, and we'll get some where the board, where the place, like some folk like today. That smells amazing. Right, get the old pizza cutter. Oh, I already know this is an absolute banger. You can just tell with the texture. Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. Have we got any bubblage in there? Right, we've got bubblage. We've got lovely bubblage crust, folks. It's an absolute blinder. Absolutely stonking pizza. Chips are ready. They're getting turned off. Wallop. know if you can hear that. I'll let you hear how crisp these chips are. Can you hear that? That's a crispy chip. That's crisp. It's absolutely perfect. Get a wee swatch. Absolutely perfect. And I'm not even all that dark coloured. Usually, it takes ages to get that kind of crispness. So these must be maybe, nah, they're not as good as Panther, sorry. Get these back on the star of the show. Look at that pizza. Just get a load of that. Oh. Oh. And all we're going to do is, we're just going to shovel our chips right round the side there. Get them shoveled right round the side. No plate, no nothing. Get them a wee tidy up. Tied up, here's the wee bits here I was talking about. These wee bits are the best, these wee end crunchy bits. Absolute best. Oh, that looks amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, bit of sea salts, no table salts as I've been using sea salt, alright, yeah, I'm up it. You know what I mean? And we'll spread some of the, get some of the chopping board, that's what some folk like today. Get some salt all over the place. But don't get me wrong, you've got to use big massive salt. It's about that size, break your teeth on and stuff. That's what I've seen some folk using. 2 tier toes. So I've actually found a wee bit of the chef's speciality barbecue sauce here. Found it $1.29 for your local corner shop. There we go. And it's actually really nice. So I'm just going to put some of that on my chips. Kind of zigzaggy drizzle. Oh, that's banging. That's absolutely banging. I could go crazy and splurge some of the pizza, but nah, we'll not do that. We won't do that. Right, that's us. That's us. Right, folks. Get a load of that. Get a load of that. Get a load of these chips. Lovely, crisp, crunchy skin outside chips. Love the light colour. Look at the light colour on them. Absolutely gorgeous. It's not even that. I usually like I like to let them get dark, but nah, I'm loving them. I'm actually loving them. Banging chips. Hope you are getting all this in. Hope my terrible lighting and shocking camera work and focus work is doing me proud. But I'm going to call it a night, folks. I hope you all have a good one. You have a good one, 2 tier toes, wherever you're there. Where are you? You have a good one, 2 tier toes. Trace, Mr. Red, whoever's watching. Aye, look at that again. That is a thing of beauty. We, of course, the star of the show might even be the chips, by the way. Adios.